Hey, Laura J. Excited to say I am sitting in a corner I've never sat in before in my office, quite literally, because I am doing an interview with Ken Cousins, who founded Pantera and Gemstone University. I have watched his systems of world bondage or world systems of the global bondage structure. I forget specifically what it's called, but that's why I'm going to interview him and introduce him to y'all if you don't know about him already, because I do believe what he has pieced together in his quest and what I have done in mine with the manuscript that I shared with those subscribed to piwu.ca, as well as my Telegram group, PIWU group, which is the Peaceful Inner Warriors United Assembly group. This is where I am communicating with people now, and the WhatsApp group I just created as well is where we're going to really get committed in May. So it's going to kick off with a Beltane Maypole May Day event. We're going to have a healing fair in Kobakonk, right downtown. It's a beautiful private space with a crystal shop attached to it, and in the back, we're going to erect a maypole from some of the carnage from the storm that hit the area in the last few weeks. And we're going to actually unseal the chakras in a sacred ceremony that will be filmed. And this is going to be used as footage in the documentary I've been talking about for a couple years called How We Did It. Name not necessarily committed. We're not fully set on that being it. But essentially, it describes what the documentary is meant to do, which is actually call the scenes that we want to see us be in. And then we go be ourselves in good company, have fun while we're doing it at events, socials, and opportunities to connect with one another at a deeper level and actually mastermind on that which you'll find in the manuscript that I finished and Ken and I will be discussing in relation to his work and how collaborative opportunities may be able to come from here. And who knows? The door is open in terms of potentials. It's just which timeline are we going to ground is the question. Well, today at 3, I'm going to find out because I bet on myself and my dream, and I committed even when it would seem that that was crazy. And then I remind you that crassy and crazy are only a C and Z apart. And that's the difference between creation and Zionism, which has a creation story of its own. And then you see there are two competing sources to share the resources. And then you start to see that we are those resources. Our team is the time, energy, effort, attention, and money we have to deploy our energetic resources, which are the team players we play our life with. And so it would seem that we need to be extra cautious about what we're putting our energy into, because cautiousness can cost us less, because it actually allows us to evaluate our options without just taking the first thing that is offered, which is why learning how to counter offer matters, not just professionally, but personally and privately, which is where we have to really start getting ourselves grounded and familiar, because everything's always unfamiliar until it becomes familiar territory. Stomping grounds, the places we go often and pack down the grass within our neuro tracks, the neuro pathways that will find specific tracks to be how we get to the storyline that we want to follow, to create that reality for ourselves. That's what we do within the neuro networks of our mind. It's like a wheat field. And the paths that we have taken the most are the ones that are going to have packed down grass. Well, I say it's 10 minutes to the top of the time when I will get to be connecting with Kenneth Scott, who is also from the family Cousins, because his name, or his nomen, and his cognomen are separated purposefully, We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the power of a name. We're going to talk about status correction and what it means to have standing, status, and comprehension of what we're doing, which is jurisdiction, baby. Whose juris are you letting diction your life? So, I hope you've enjoyed the little prelude to what I'm about to do. And know that I'm doing it because I put myself out there. And I also called on a friend who had joined his community years ago, Alex Barker, aka Panda. Shout out to you, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate him for everything that he has been doing, because we met last May and have shared a lot of experiences since then, because we have intentionally got ourselves to common events, festivals, socials. We've connected. We've gotten together outside of what other people arranged. We actually took hold of the flame and built a relationship, a friendship, a collaborative dynamic where we support one another commonly, which is why he's going to be coming May 1st. And he's going to be helping with some videography, which there are other opportunities that I am really looking to connect with those who have the skill, ability, and willingness to come for this event. And then we're going to collaborate and we're going to create this documentary about how we did it. And we're going to call the shots, which this is the event where they'll be filmed, so be prepared. It's going to be used publicly in this documentary about our story, not his, ours, because we're the ones who pay the price. So why don't we write the script too? So, without any further ado, I'm going to say I am Laura J. of the family Hamilton, wanting to say I'm excited. I'm excited for you to see the gems that are in your life. And on April 26th in Copaconk at the Blue Room, I'm going to actually be doing another interview series where Panda is also going to be helping with not only showcasing those gems of friends that I introduced through this series, but I'm going to introduce him as well, because he's one of them. He's one of these gems that I am connected to, who actually connected me to the founder of Gemstone University, aka Kenneth Scott Cousins, or of the family Cousins, and why it is said that way. Just so that you understand it in your noggin so you can use it, because if you don't, it will be fogging your decision-making ability and process. Peace. Laura J. Namaste, namago for today. Until 5 minutes from now, when I'm gonna be interviewing a man with whom I have great respect, for whom I have great respect. It's not with, but I'll be with him shortly. Just being particular with my words.